And there is a sale. And there is one of the salesmen. Hi, Harry.
Hi, how are you?
So my question is about tillandsias, right? So if we are selecting, I like this one. So,
Yeah, that's Tillandsia malmontii.
uh-huh.
Beautiful, easy to grow. It's fragrant. Um, you don't have to water it a couple times a week, get it wet. That's about it. Give it lots of light, or it'll even grow in shade. It'll grow shade or light, doesn't matter. They're beautiful and easy. And the fragrance is really nice.
I see. What about this one? Why it's red?
Well, that one, that's Tillandsia albertiana, and super easy to grow. Again, lots of light. They bloom. Unfortunately, this flower is over, but it's a brilliant red flower. And during the time they just get covered when they're in full bloom. And these are small plants, but they're well established and super easy to grow.
I see. And what about on another? Oh, here is.
Yeah, that shows it
flower, right?
in bloom.
Interesting.
Well, then we got Tillandsia somnians, and this is a
Give me a sec. I cannot.
a rather
see.
different Tillandsia. It has buckets for water, where a lot of Tillandsias don't, and these grow in trees. So this long spike, when it's in a tree, it'll shoot up, and then it looks for something to lean on, and it kind of falls hopefully towards a branch. Then it sends out its pups, and then in this picture right here kind of shows how it grows. But it's a wonderful, easy plant to grow. It'll grow super bright or very shady. The flowers are not that significant, but the plant is just beautiful, and it's growing. Its growth habit is really nice.
I see.
Then we got Tillandsia secunda, which
Is it on a bottom?
yeah, we got the little guys down here, and this is an adult plant that's obviously in bloom. It always has downward facing flowers, which you can see downward facing. And then what it does once it's finished blooming, it's still got a little while left to bloom, then it'll start making keikis or pups. And you can see it's already starting down below. And this thing will turn into probably, it could be 100 plants. I don't know. I've never tried to count them, but it'll load up with plants. And it's super easy to grow, full sun coastally. It comes from the mountains of Ecuador, and it grows, I mean, grows out in full sun.
I see. What about this one?
Well, this is an Acmea. This is Acmea del Mar, and it's a hybrid. And the reason I brought it in is it's beautiful flower. It's easy to grow.
Where are the flowers?
Yeah, the flowers is gorgeous, and I have a bunch of small ones, so I wanted people. It's hard to describe that flower unless you see it in person, and it's just starting, so it'll get even more impressive as it goes.
Okay, so smaller one means this one, right?
Yeah, those are the small ones of that Del Mar. So they'll eventually, probably a year or two, and they'll be in that mode, blooming.
See. And this one is similar as.
Yeah, these are more Tillandsia somnians. This is Tillandsia concolor, and very easy to grow. Lots of bright light. Has quite interesting flowers. You can see the flower right there. Again, Tillandsias are not usually big and showy, the flowers themselves, but it's the structure that holds the flower that gives it color.
What about this one?
Oh, these are wonderful. For landscape, these plants want lots of sun. They don't necessarily need full sun all day, but the more light you give them, the better. If these guys here are really putting on a show, they're in bloom, and the flower is not that pretty. It's an unusual flower, but it's the foliage. And so here you can paint in your garden with foliage and here's one that's not in bloom, but it still has fuchsia on it. And give it more light, it'll get more fuchsia color. Where this one here will pretty much keep its color as long as you give it enough light. This will not, this color can be a little bit transient and move around. This color stays.
I see.
And it's a Neragelia Johannes de Rolf. And that one's, that's Acmea pectinata large form.
Give me a second. First time I saw it, I was guessing that someone. First question was, how long it will take you to paint?
I know. Oh,
To
it's
paint.
amazing.
Because
And like I say, they
it's
move
like
the color
painted.
around. They will.
Really?
They will sometimes. There's a leaf that maybe this color is going to be moved over to here. You know, so they it changes before your eyes.
I see. Interesting.
Now we have a bunch of other sun-loving
Ah,
bromeliads over here. This is a beautiful one. It's a Neragelia. I don't know what species it is. I call it species red tip. Again, give it lots of light. It blooms really well. And what's interesting about this one is it will have blooms on the side. So it'll just out of the bract where the leaf comes out, it'll have a bloom come out.
I see.
So most of them only bloom here. This one will bloom on the side. They make great garden landscaping plants.
I see.
Then these back here are all Acmea blanchetianus. And with different color forms. This is what they call orangeade. This is your standard colored form. That's another orangeade. This one is called variegata. So it's a variegated form of blanchetiana. Another standard one.
Wow.
And then we've got one that's called Pinot, which is a dark red, beautiful plant.
How many acres of the land should I have to grow up this one?
Pardon?
How much acres of the land should I
Oh
have?
no, I do have a fair amount. I have a 5,000 square foot greenhouse,
Really?
and
Greenhouse?
about a third of it might have big
Really?
Acmeas. But yeah, they take up space. They're not small, compact growers.
Give me a sec. What about the winter time?
Oh.
So greenhouse or
Oh, no,
outdoor?
outdoors, no problem.
Outdoors.
No
For
problem.
California, outdoors.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do beautiful here in Southern California.
I see.
They love it.
I'm just curious. What kind of
That's
Anceps.
Laelia
I
anceps,
see. Full sun?
Hilliana.
full sun?
That's one of a different color form of anceps. Anceps has lots of color forms. It's probably one of the most diverse Mexican Laelias. From the northern range to the southern range of it, and anywhere in between, there's all kinds of really interesting things.
One more question.
Sure.
Can I show you?
Yes.
Because I found one of my favorite tillandsia. Hi, John. So this one's my favorite
Oh,
one.
Doradii.
Yeah.
Tillandsia doradii is a wonderful plant.
Can I
This is
show
the
the name?
giant form.
Yes, I know. I have
Right.
giant
And
variety.
so it's extremely easy. You can they love to grow in a tree or something because these things will curl onto branches and then they kind of hang from the tree.
Wow.
You know, so that's one way to grow them in a tree. Or if you don't have a tree, you can take a wire. I would grow it like this. I would run the wire down the back side, put a little loop on here, hook it on there, tie it on the wire, and let it go. And just hang it in a bright spot. They like a lot of sun. They have this glaucous covering on them, so it's a furry covering. They don't have buckets like other tillandsias do, so this is one that you have to wet thoroughly, and probably a couple times a week is sufficient. Sometimes 3. It just depends on the weather. Watering plants is, looks like it's maybe.
I'm guess so.
It will eventually spike, but
yes.
I don't think it's.
I think that's a spike.
It's probably going to be closer to Christmas, I think,
I see.
when it'll do it. But yeah.
Can you tell me why I love it? That's my favorite.
Oh, it's just it's a strange plant, and when it's in a group, it is just it's beautiful. Strange
it has
beauty.
fragrance, you
Oh,
know.
and the fragrance on this thing is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, that's why.
This flower,
Uh-huh.
it's a pretty flower, but the fragrance is literally overwhelming. You can smell it from a great distance.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
I know.
No,
That's why it's
I
my
can
favorite.
totally understand why it's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
That's a really nice little tillandsia. Tillandsia extensa.
Uh-huh.
Easy to grow. Again, bright light. I tend to find that too many people grow them too shaded, so they don't really get a good performance out of their plant. But what's really nice about this is it's loaded up with babies already.
Wow.
Already.
At the bottom? Didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they're not ready to be harvested yet, but as they get bigger,
Uh-huh.
then you just take them off and you've got
Wow.
lots of little
I
plantlets.
see. I see.
And they're beautiful. This Tillandsia fasciculata
Uh-huh.
is really a wonderful plant.
Can you
but-
bring it closer?
Sure.
I'm scared to.
Fasciculata has got a tremendous range.
Uh-huh.
Ranges from Mexico down to, I believe, Ecuador and Peru. Maybe even goes further. But there are many different forms of Tillandsia fasciculata. This just happens to be the Mexico form, and there's several different forms in Mexico.
Question: how you're watering it?
Easy.
Easy.
Buckets.
Легко. Buckets. What
Yeah,
does it
just-
mean? Means there is a bucket.
they've got buckets, or they got water holding
Корзинки.
facilities.
I see.
And this one is the easiest could be. You just hit it once or twice a week.
Once or
because it-
twice per
yeah,
week.
because
Один
it-
или два
because-
раза в неделю. Ага.
Yeah, if
Okay.
it's got that much storage, you don't want
I
to
see.
keep them too wet.
Yes, but question is how?
Oh, you just water it. It's easy. I water
Give me
them
a sec.
typically
But
twice a week.
is it like growing like this?
Just-
Not you are not
Yeah,
bringing
no,
it
no.
back.
If I
huh?
turn it upside down, it'll. But I have some growing in trees
Uh-huh.
that are. There could be maybe 10 of these together,
Uh-huh.
and some grow sideways.
Uh-huh.
But typically you can just get water in them by rain,
I see.
and you can see there's roots on the bottom.
Can I see at the bottom? I see. Okay.
Very rewarding plant,
Uh-huh.
and you can have fasciculatas from all over, and they have different blooms.
I see.
But they look very similar. I love the growth habit. I think it's a very elegant looking plant.
Yeah.
And when they're blooming, that's like
I have
icing
just
on the
single
cake.
question: how not to overwater it, right?
Well, if you
No.
you just have to control yourself.
Uh-huh.
I would, like I say, typically probably you could get by with once a week.
But how, using hose or?
Just a hose. Nothing special. These are really low maintenance. I mean,
I see.
very easy. Nothing special. You can use
Берешь
tap
шланг,
water.
полил один-два раза в неделю. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cool.
Sure.
And bromeliads are amazing. Seriously, I cannot not stop
Oh.
with this one.
This is
Yeah.
beautiful. It really is.
Yeah.
Bilbergias are
Can I see the name?
extremely nice. That's called Bilbergia Casablanca.
I
It's
see.
really, they're beautiful.
The foliage is like, ah.
This one
This one is
here
nice.
is extremely gorgeous. It's just the colors. If you grow it too shady, you don't get this red in it. This is what it's about.
I see.
Getting beautiful colors out. It is kind of a nasty plant. If you try to reach in and grab it, it's gonna bite you. But it is beautiful. And I'll get you your name.
Is it the same name or different?
No, this is a different one.
I see.
So this is
Thank you.
Norigelia viridovenosa. Viridovenosa.
I'm feeling like, yeah, you are learning a third class, right? Third grade. I am learning still in a first grade because I am reading by two letters together. It's just so complicated for me.
I am always learning new stuff. Always. You never stop learning when you're growing plants. If you think you know it all, you better stop growing plants.
Sec. Can I see this
Oh, that's another really nice one too. Whitrocki. Whitrocki gigantea.
foliage. Awesome. This one is one of my favorite.
Vanda,
Uh
suavis.
huh.
Oh, this is. I've got
I know.
4. And, well, I've got 5, but 4. I've got an A, B, C, and a D, and this happens to be the C clone. And I just named them just because they're all different. But
How
they're
you are
super
growing?
easy to grow
How
in
you are
Southern
growing
California.
it in a bark?
Yeah, just big old chunks of bark, the biggest bark you can get. If I could get bigger bark, I'd use bigger bark.
Really?
But yeah, they don't need a lot, and it grows year round. I get probably my big plants will bloom maybe 4 times a year, and they're fragrant.
Give me a sec. With this media, how often you are watering it?
Twice a week.
Twice per week.
Everything I pretty much water twice a week. I can water more often if necessary. It depends. So I use moss and I use bark. And the things that want to grow drier, larger bark. The things that want to grow wetter, finer bark. The things that want to go more wet than that, give them moss.
One more time. Watering using hose?
Yes, all the hose. I use a hose. I use an injector. I
Not
constantly inject.
mist, right?
No.
No.
Mist is a 4-letter word to plants. They don't want mist. They want rain. They can't survive on mist, at least not for very long.
I see.
But yeah, no, a couple times a week I give them a good, thorough watering, and they're good to go.
Let me translate. 2 раза в неделю обильно полили шлангом и все. That's it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And
awesome.
this is my favorite. Well, I have several favorites, but this is one of
Okay.
my favorite epidendrons, Porphyrium. It is absolutely gorgeous, and there are some different forms of Porphyrium. This particular form, I think, is superior to the other one, and I have both forms. This is my favorite form of the Porphyrium. It has the darker stem, where the other form is all green all the way up.
I see.
But Porphyrium is a wonderful plant, and they're getting ready to bloom. And I have a big plant in about a 15-gallon pot, maybe 20-gallon pot. That's the parent plant of this one, and it's got flowers
Give me
a
a sec.
lot.
On this side, is it another one?
Epidendron. It's now called Epidendron Schweinfurthiana.
So different.
It was Ostradella Schweinfurthiana, but then the taxonomists decided to lump, and so they put it back into Epidendron. I still think Ostradella.
So one more time. That's different one, right?
Yes, this is totally different. And this has got orange and purple together that is just striking. I just love the color on this thing. The big plants, they will get about 8 feet tall. You grow them in full sun.
8 feet tall.
8 feet tall, easy, easy 8 feet. If you don't grow them in full
2,40
sun,
по
they
высоте
can,
занимают.
Andy had some getting like 14 feet.
14 feet?
Yes, because it
Are
was
you kidding
trying to
me?
get over the top of the shade house to get to the sun.
Huh?
Because if you don't give them full sun, they will go look for it on their
I
own.
see.
But they like water year round. Excuse me.
Same twice per week
Yeah.
or more than
I'm
this
sorry.
one? That's
Yes, I do them twice a week. I keep in a finer mix, and when I water them, I water the whole plant because as they get larger, they get cakeys on them, and you want these roots to grow, and the only way you're going to make them grow is by giving them water. So by watering them, when I water the pot, I water the whole plant. These roots tend to grow, and then if you want, then you can actually snap that off, plant it, and you've got another one.
I see. I see.
But they are gorgeous. So my big plants, they start blooming typically about mid-August, and after Christmas, I still have some flowers on them. So they bloom for a long time. They're
see.
wonderful, but they need full sun.
Full sun.
They don't want to be in the shade. So to get them to bloom, lots of water and lots of sun, and they'll
I see.
bloom.
Thank you.
Easy.
Okay. Okay. What are your favorite orchids? So
Okay, that's a hard question to answer.
I know.
Because it depends on what's blooming at the time you ask me.
Yeah, I know.
Right now, I'm loving my ostradellas because they're in full bloom, and when they're 8 feet tall and with thousands of flowers on them, it's hard not to be your favorite.
I see.
But sobrelias are close to my heart. I'd have to say that the
Is sobrelias like
oh
this
yeah,
one?
oh yeah, like any of these. I love these big sobrelias. They're where can you stand in a forest of orchids and have to look up like that? That is, to me, stunning. You know, I have to get on a ladder to look at
size, or which size you are preferring?
Well, I love the big ones. I have some, but they're not quite that tall. I have some Sobrelia portiae, which are this lavender colored one right there. And mine are only about this tall. I want them to get that big. It takes time. You have to be patient.
Really?
But I have a lot of Sobrelia macranthas that are like this, and they're wonderful. They're just finishing blooming. So I guess they're not going to be my favorite now. I have to think of a new one.
Okay,
but
I'm counting. I'm counting. Yeah. So epidendrum, you said, right? Sobrelias. What else?
I really, in the Laelia family, Laelia syncarana. Laelia syncarana is a plant maybe this tall, that big to that big, with the flower like that. Show me another plant that's going to do that. The flower's bigger than the
Have
plant.
Andy something like this one on? Do you know?
Pardon?
Have Andy something like this one
Oh,
on?
Andy has them.
Really?
But I have a whole bunch of Laelia syncaranas. I've been to Brazil several times. That's the home of the Laelia syncarana, and I've purchased from different nurseries down there. And they're just incredible. They don't take up a lot of room, and they give you lots of
Can you
bang
show
for
me
your
where
buck.
there is? Do you know? No?
I'm trying to think where Andy's got them. I might have to ask. I bet you they're probably in Chris's house.
Can
might
we-
be able to go
can we
find
look?
them. Yeah, let's go look.
Yeah, let's go. And maybe we will find some kind of flowers, right?
Well, no, the syncaranas, they bloom in May. So they're done blooming. But they are beautiful when they're blooming.
I see. Keep smiling.
Okay.
So today is open house and we are able to select or buy or look any plant which are available, right?
Let's see. I don't know what item you'd be on, so I'm trying to do a scan. There's orchids everywhere.
Yeah. Let me know, is it hard for you to select a new orchid or not? Oh, look at these. Interesting plant. Let me look the name. I'm not sure are you able to see or not, but I'd like to return back to it. Give me a sec. We are looking for still trying to find. I need to follow Harry. In other case, I will definitely can lost myself.
Syncarana. Sí. ¿Están por acá? Okay. Este pasillo aquí. Aquí, así que aquí están. There's Laelia syncarana. Tiny. So now imagine a flower this big sitting on that thing. it hides the plant.
Mm-hmm.
Show me another orchid that's going to make a flower bigger than it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't think there is
Uh-huh.
one.
I see.
There could be,
Mm-hmm.
but and this one is, they have different color forms.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just the standard. There's nothing wrong with the standard Laelia sincarana.
Can I see the name? Uh-huh.
Sure. Let's see if I can find a better one.
You know, probably I have one.
Sincarana.
just-
I don't see a.
Mhm.
Oh wait, here's a label.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you can
Oh.
take a picture of this.
Uh-huh.
There's your tag right there.
Give me a sec. Mm-hmm.
So I think if push comes to shove, I'm going to pick the Laelia sincarana.
Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Although I do love my
Uh-huh.
Laelia, or my sobrelias.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
So we counted. That's number second, right? Third choice. Uh-huh.
Oh. Now you're really pushing. Well, you know, I really love Laelia anceps
Mhm.
because of there are so many different color forms of
Mhm.
Laelia anceps.
Mm-hmm. Which one is favorite?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? I have a Laelia anceps that I got probably decades ago now.
Mm-hmm.
I call it Laelia anceps Nana.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sort of a miniature Laelia anceps. It's not true miniature, but it's not a full size.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen another one like it. I think Andy calls it Laelia anceps hairy because it was I got it, but I call it Nana.
I see.
That's probably, God, I don't know. It's my favorite because it's beautiful and it's just smaller than the others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times smaller in an orchid, people, oh, I want bigger.
Yeah.
But this is so beautiful, and it's a just, I don't know. It's just one that I was lucky to find,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never seen another one like it.
I see.
So
I see.
those are my
Okay.
those are my three.
Can you find any flowers right here? Just anyone?
Okay. Oh, I'm sure we can.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just look. We can always find flowers if we look. Oh, here's.
Mm-hmm.
I can find a flower any time of the year on this plant.
Uh-huh.
The question is can you see it?
No. Not yet. Not yet. There is no focus. I am not able.
You're not able to. Can you
Uh-huh.
make it larger?
I'm trying. Kind of I'm able to see, but it's so
But it's so
tiny.
tiny.
Yeah.
It's maybe a 64th of an inch or a 32nd of an inch. It's tiny, tiny,
Uh-huh,
tiny.
uh-huh.
But this thing is almost always in bloom.
Mm-hmm. I see.
The big guys cannot bloom as much as this little
Uh-huh,
guys can.
Uh-huh. I see. I see.
There's always things to see.
Who is this one?
Oh, that's I've got that. That's
Mhm.
epidendron, and I can't remember.
Oh, what is this one?
Which
Here?
one? Oh, that's a
Yes.
big seed pod
Yay.
off of one of
Uh-huh.
Andy's cymbidiums.
Uh-huh. I see.
Orion, Epidendrum Orion. It's I think it's from Colombia. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and it reminds me of what's another epidendrum that's very similar to that? I can't think of it right now. Reniferum. Reminds me of Epidendrum reniferum. They're related.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool because they bloom multiple times off each cane, and they will bloom for years off of the same cane. This one here, as a matter of fact, has been in bloom for many years, and no leaves on the cane, but it still throws out flowers.
I see.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. What is this one?
Here, this is a Massavelia species, Floribunda type.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful little guys.
Can I see the name?
Sure. Massavelia species Floribunda
Uh-huh. Guatemala, I see.
Yeah. And that one is definitely not for sale. Andy wants to make sure about that, so put that back.
Okay. Oh, what is that?
This is an oncidium.
I guess so.
It's beautiful. I don't think there's an ugly orchid flower. It's just some are nicer than others.
Yeah.
Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. Cool little guy. And so this is Massavelia mellow. No, I can't even pronounce it. Mellow xanthana.
Uh-huh. I see.
Epigenium nakahare. That is
One more
a
time, the
really
name is?
cool plant.
Can you help me with the name?
Sure, Epigenium nakahare.
Uh-huh.
Cool flower.
You know, I'm able to see something just like this size.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, it
To me,
is.
when they turn specimens,
Uh-huh.
they just behave so much differently, and they're just beautiful.
Who is this guy? Any idea? Do you know the name of this one?
Oh well, it's an encyclia
Uh-huh.
of some sort. I don't. Oh wait, here we go.
Yeah.
Encyclia Faustume or Faustum.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Interesting.
Full of the flowers. Look at this one. Huh?
You know, this little corner back here,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite corners. A friend of ours keeps some of his orchids here, and he had worked for us quite a while, and so we still have his plants here, and he comes in and sees them, and they just like it here.
Really?
Little Phalaenopsis.
I don't know.
Here, let's see if we can get that up here. I can't even see what it says.
I don't know.
I don't either. It says, oh, it says Cattleya? I don't think
Yes,
so.
that's
It's
what
not
I.
a Cattleya. But here's another one that's got flowers all the time. It is super tiny, but it's like almost always in bloom.
I see. Any idea with the name? No.
Yes, the name is Dryadella platystele, I think. Let's see if I can find a tag that I can do that.
No.
Nope. I don't want to pull that out, but I think it says
That's okay.
Dryadella platystele.
Look, that's a ball.
I know
Can
it
you
is.
imagine?
Look at that thing. It's in a basket,
Is it?
but
Is it?
the basket is just kind of it's hanging in there.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Can I see one more time? Oh. Great idea.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
Orchids don't necessarily need to be in media, especially if they're epiphytes. They grow on trees. They just need something to hang on to. It could be a tree. It could be a basket. It could be wood. It could be plastic.
Give me a second. And how you are thinking? A lot of people like right now. It's like a fashion, right? To put orchid inside a bowl without holes, and they are saying, no need, not requires too much watering. What do you think about this one? This one.
We should stick some human beings in a bowl and see how they feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if you can find an orchid that
Thank
likes
you.
it, that's fine. But it might work with certain little miniatures, and you'd have to have the special conditions for it. But you could probably do it.
But people are saying, look, all orchids requires a lot of moist, right? We are living in a house where there is no too much humidity, so we should water it. It should be high humidity. That's why we should put it in a bowl.
The only problem with doing that is if you get too many in there and there's no air circulation, that can be an issue. Orchids like air movement. They typically, you don't find them where there is no air movement because their seeds are dispersed by the winds. And if there's no breeze to move the seeds, then there won't be any orchids there. I have tried, I have grown orchids not for a real long time. They've lasted for almost a year and then I've managed to kill them trying to do that exact same thing. But some other people might have success. I've learned with orchids, never say never. Because if you say it can't be done, somebody's already done it. So they figured out how to do it. So don't tell somebody they can't do it because they'll figure out a way to do it.
Can you show me
Isn't
this
this
one?
awesome?
It's just something, yeah. It's not an orchid.
This
Trust
is,
me, it is not.
dendrobium.
I cannot imagine.
And so this one, it
Это
doesn't, I
брат
think it's Prenticeae.
Индия.
I think it's Prenticeae. Yeah, it doesn't have a name on it. But these are the flowers, so it's Prenticeae.
What? What? I missed that.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Look at this
And
one.
so it's
Give me a sec.
beautiful.
First one. Previously, we discussed another man described that when he was doing hybrids of the cattleyas, right? We should wait. How many? He said 6 to 7 years, right, to real bloom, and he's growing it outdoor. But he's saying that Fred Clark is growing to see the
right.
flowers.
He wants to do it fast.
Yes, 3-4 years. 3-4 years, unbelievable. I cannot believe it.
You can do that if you've got everything dialed in and it's just the perfect conditions. That said, the plant might not be that strong because it hasn't had a little bit of stress is good for them. It develops a better plant, I believe. You don't want to.
My question is, look, if I will buy, for example, let's say 5 bulbs, right? How long should I wait? What?
Oh, you're gonna wait a while.
Guess.
It's probably, I would guess this could be 15 years old.
Same do I.
But I would recommend growing it under higher light. To me, it's a bit too shady. Under higher light, you'd have more red in it and there'd be more flowers, I believe.
I see.
And I'm not saying anything bad against how this is grown. It's just, I feel it needs more light. I can just by looking at the plant. I have one at home, not this big, it's maybe that big, but it has more flowers on it. And again, it's a light. It boils down to light.
Interesting.
But this is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a little football.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, look at these things.
In
Just a giant sheet. It's a mediocalcar.
Wow. Another woman, she's writing that that's awesome explanation. Thank you so much. And when she will come here, she definitely she wants to see this nursery, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The greenhouse is amazing.
This is the most unique nursery I have ever visited. There's nothing like it on the planet, and I'm not kidding you. I've been around it my whole life. I think it's normal. I have to keep reminding myself this is not normal. This is not normal.
Yeah.
But it sure is an experience.
Can we go a little bit more? Give me a sec. What about this guy? I have this one.
Oh yeah. This
It's
is
nice.
Encyclia bractescens. It's beautiful. Look at that little flower with that beautiful little lip. To me, it's gorgeous.
I see.
Gorgeous.
They're saying hi from Ukraine to you.
What's that?
Hi from Ukraine.
Oh, hi from Ukraine. Hi back. Are we live?
Yeah, we are.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we are. Why not?
Yes, why not? Well, let's see.
Give me a
Here's
sec.
another
I found another guy. Can you help me with this
Oh
one?
yes.
Can you just probably
It's a
pick
gongora or an acropera. It's beautiful. Always has pendant spikes like that.
Give me a sec. I am not
It's
sure.
Acropera
Look,
galeata.
why Galeata can be yellow, it can be brownish.
Uh-huh.
It's so different.
Oh yeah,
Why?
well certain orchids have a
Uh-huh.
wide range.
Mhm.
They can
I
range,
see.
you know,
I see.
but others are just the same, like a little
Mhm.
cookie cutter. You make them all
Mhm.
the same.
Yeah.
No variation.
Mhm.
I prefer
Mhm.
variation,
Mhm.
genetics.
Mhm. I see.
That's what makes orchids so interesting.
I see. Another hi from Russia.
Ah, hi back.
Give me a sec. What about this one?
This is a dendrobium, and the flowers are kind of they're not as fresh as they could be, but they're still pretty nice.
I saw similar, but more bigger one in
Oh
a
yeah,
greenhouse in
exactly.
another one.
This section has similar flowers.
Uh-huh.
I love them. How could you not like them?
And do you know the name of this one? I just don't remember.
I don't remember
Okay,
either, but
that's okay. That's
I was
okay.
gonna
I am not
see a
sure that
tag.
he will. If it is not for sale, probably it's
I'm
okay.
not sure which one. that
Maybe
is.
this one, right?
It
Should be.
could.
I am looking.
Yeah, it does. Let's see.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Dendrobium rotostictum.
Give me a sec.
That makes sense. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Dendrobium rotostictum.
Awesome. So another question, and how you are doing fertilizing, right?
Fertilizing.
Uh-huh.
Well, we use a fertilizer injector. So it's we have reverse osmosis water run through fertilizer injectors, and we have different injectors for different things. We can inject Epsom salts. We can inject high nitrogen fertilizer for growth. We can inject calcium, magnesium. We can do them separately because you don't want to mix them all together, because then it precipitates out and
I see.
is not available for the
Is
plant.
it any kind of system like this week we will do this one, or?
Well, Andy, I'm not exactly sure his
Yeah.
whole system, but at home when I fertilize, I have 3 fertilizers. I have acid special, which is 2177, and I've got a CalMag, and then I've got Epsom salts or magnesium sulfate, and I rotate between the acid special and the Epsom, or the acid special and the CalMag, and then I throw I mix. Then maybe I'll change the tank and go to Epsom salts. I try to rotate them around.
Is it like each day or each
when
water?
I water, I always water with fertilizer, but
I
at a
see.
very low rate.
I see. Lower than they are rated then.
Right, you don't want to over fertilize, because
Yeah.
then you damage the roots, you damage the plant. It's
Do
better
it-
to. It's like for us, they say it's better for us to eat lots of smaller meals than one big meal. Same with orchids.
I see.
They get fed all the time when it rains. The rain will pick up free nitrogen in the atmosphere that's created by lightning, and then any other little micronutrients on its way to the roots, and then over the roots and onto the ground. So it doesn't have a very long time to pick it up.
I see.
It does it it has to grab that's why orchid roots actively transport water when they're alive. And when they're dead, they passively transport water. So it's
Question.
like a wick.
Question. You are fertilizing it, right? And is there any kind of orchids which not requires at all or scary fertilizer?
Mother Nature fertilizes all her plants.
Uh-huh.
And so they can go through periods of low food, but then the performance of the plant is affected. So fertilizer does make a difference.
I see.
I think it's an important aspect. It's all overlooked a lot of times. People do not fertilize enough. And then you can have the other side where they fertilize too much, and you
Give me a
only
sec.
have
But
one
when you're watering whole plant or
whole plant, everything.
so means by leaf, by
Leaves.
everything, right?
You can try to avoid the flowers if you want,
Yeah.
but in nature it rains.
I see.
A lot of times the flowers are timed to bloom in the dry season. But what I love about talking about orchids is you can yes, no, maybe, and sometimes can be the correct answer to the same question. It depends on the plant.
I see.
But generally speaking, when we're in here watering, it's everything gets wet,
I see.
flowers and all.
I see. I have one more question. Oh,
Look at that little guy.
give me a sec.
Mhm.
I'd like to see it. Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, we need a name.
I know, I'm trying to get it. Give me a hint. Give me a hint. Okay, here we go.
Let me jump inside. That's okay.
I can't.
That's okay. Okay. I am able to see it. Is it? That's
It's
different
something
one.
species.
That's okay.
Stenocylus species, India.
I see. Awesome. One more. Oh, mamma mia! Look at this one. Look at this guy.
I know.
Huh.
Yeah, see if I can get him to turn up a little bit. He's looking down.
That's enough.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, yeah. It's. So give me a sec. Is it Lycaster or what is that?
This is a. It looks like a Lycast to me.
Lycaster. Okay.
But I don't see a name on it.
Maybe the same as this one. Agree? No. Angloa?
Yeah,
No,
so-
that's not Angloa.
You know, that's an but that's not an Anguloa.
I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
no,
skip
I
this
don't
part.
know.
We don't know. That's okay.
Yeah. Andy or Catherine would probably know. These are kind of cool. Micro.
You know,
Rostrata. Yeah, Rostrata. Microphora or Rostrata. Interesting.
Another question. There was calanthe, right? Plant. Calanthe.
Calanthe?
So for them, in a winter time, no watering at all, or a little bit.
Calanthes. Yes, no, maybe, and sometimes. No, I am not a big fan of totally cutting water off. Mother Nature doesn't do that. If you dry season in different areas is different. I was in Fiji, and their dry season was pretty wet to me. And I asked him, well, what's it like in the wet season? He said, wetter. So that said, I remember during their dry season, there were mornings where there was no rain, but everything is wet because of the humidity. So plants are still getting watered, just differently.
I see.
You know, so certain things, like some habanerias, do go fairly dry, but 100% withholding, that seems a little bit too much for me.
I see.
That's my spin on it. Any plants that I have that go deciduous in the winter, I typically give them a little bit of water every now and then.
Thank you so much.
You don't want them to just
Yeah.
dry up and disappear.
I agree. Okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Great explanation. I agree.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I try to find, whenever I travel around the world, I ask them about the dry season. What's it like? I want to be to experience these things. When you go see these orchids in situ, and you see where they're growing, you feel the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You look at the lighting. All of a sudden, now you know. It's not a guess. You've seen them growing how Mother Nature does it. And we want to imitate the best grower we know. And that's Mother Nature. She does it better than anybody.
I know.
And so I try to do that as best as possible within my 2-day-a-week watering scheme. That's a beautiful a Miltonia. That's Regali variety alba.
I see. Awesome. Yeah. Orchids are everywhere, but to
I
find
kind of have to look everywhere because
I know.
even above us, I was looking to see if there's any little flowers
see.
on those guys. I don't see any.
it's so hard to see.
There's
Anything.
always something. Just how hard do you we've already seen those guys. So
This one we already saw probably.
I love these. These are beautiful.
Is it
They're
begonias?
from Ecuador.
Can I see the name?
Yeah.
This one is huge. Yeah.
Here's a ceropetalum species. Look at that. That is pretty.
I cannot read this name.
It just says
Bulbophyllum?
ceropetalum. Yeah, ceropetalum, which is,
Uh-huh.
you know, the taxonomists lump them together
Uh-huh.
and then take them apart.
I see.
But even if they call it bulbophyllum, it's in the ceropetalum section, and it's a species. We just don't know what the. It's from
see.
Vietnam, but very pretty.
This one I really like, Scalopendro.
I know this one is really, really neat, just because it's so weird. The weirder, the better.
Yeah.
Really and truly.
I should. There is no name, right? On it. Oh yeah.
Is there?
Full of name.
Yeah. I can't remember the name on that one. I don't know. If
I
there's-
remember Scalopendro, but sure.
Oh well, we'll just
Yeah.
hang them back up. Let 'em-
Yeah.
So here's a kind of cool little guy.
Mm.
This is species Floribunda.
And do you know? My one are growing well. No flowering.
The Floribunda?
Uh-huh.
Is it standard Floribunda or
I
is
would
it
say-
species Floribunda? Because this is in that Floribunda section, but we're not
I would
sure
say
of
from the
species.
section. I'm not sure.
Because
So
of, I'm usually a mass murderer
Uh-huh.
of the pleurothalids section, Massivalia being part
I
of it.
see.
And I'm able to grow Massivalia Floribunda, but I can't grow a lot of others.
I
And
see.
it just, I've never tried the species Floribunda.
I see. I see. Someone?
Little algae and
Yeah.
mosses that are great for different terrariums and
Huge moss.
some
Huge.
cool things.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. What about this one?
I know. I was hoping it's a great little dendrobium. It's a very wet grower.
Wet?
Wet.
Okay, let's go. Don't stop. Don't stop.
This one like
I see.
lots of water.
Uh-huh. I see. Okay.
Oh my God! It's.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. No, I cannot. Give me a
It's a
sec.
Schomburgia
Uh-huh.
or Myrmicophylla.
Wow. But it's white one. Look
Yeah,
at
well,
this one.
It's white and yellow, and I'm
Give me a
trying
sec,
to.
give me a
I'm
sec.
looking for the name. I'm not going to be able to read that one.
Uh-huh.
My eyes are not that good.
Okay. Let me try
Oh my God!
to grow up.
See, I
as-
told you gotta. Oh, you just there. You go.
I'm not sure. Can I catch it or not?
And there's another one growing right behind you doing the same thing, throwing up a spike on the other side.
Really?
I told you gotta look up.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I am not sure. Will I be able to?
I'm glad I looked up right now because holy look, I see something else. We're gonna have to go back that way. You're gonna really like this. Keep going,
Okay.
and then look up down here. Do you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I saw that from a long
Шамбургия,
ways
да,
away.
это
And I was going, I
Шамбургия.
should have looked up sooner.
Ага. Wow. Give me a sec. Is it epigenium?
It's an epigenium. I want to say I want to say Lyonsia.
Wow.
I
Uh-huh.
think. It's a beautiful plant.
I am unable to see anything.
I don't think I can.
That's okay.
That
That's
just
okay.
says not for sale. Something.
I know. I know.
I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's Lyonsia.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Uh-huh. Unable to see. Okay. Cool. But this one, Schamburgias, is amazing. I'm not sure. Did we catch it or not? Вы видели ее или нет? Потому что шикарная. Вот он, маленький цветочек. Такой капризный цветочек. Ай-яй-яй.
So these are like that other one, different
Uh-huh.
species.
Mhm.
Wet growers, though, again,
Uh-huh.
you can see why moss. They love water,
See?
but they're real pretty. They're definitely pendant growing.
Mm-hmm.
They're beautiful little dendrobiums, but a very wet grower.
Okay.
I'd kill those in a heartbeat.
Don't say me that. Wandopsis. Who is Wandopsis? Wet? Wet,
Well,
wet?
certain ones are wet. Here's one, it's Platystele misera, and tiny little flowers, tiny, but
Uh-huh.
beautiful.
People are saying we need to have a drone to make a record video.
It would help with that one,
Yeah, yeah.
or the tall sobrelias.
Yes,
Get up there
yes,
and look at it.
yes.
Little maxillaria,
Uh-huh.
Lancasteri.
Uh-huh. I see.
I have an
Mamma
orchid
mia,
in here
look
named
at
after
this,
me. I
look
just
at
don't
this.
know where it is.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
There's
It
an
is.
epigeneum too.
Wow. I am able to see
Oh,
one
look at
flower.
that. Wow. That's a beauty.
Красотища. Okay. There is tons of. So we saw this from another side, right? Or not? I just completely forgot. Some kind of epidendrum, right?
That's a beautiful epidendrum.
Uh-huh.
Really, really nice. Oh, look. Miltonia.
Oh, is it Miltonia?
Yeah.
Is it?
Candida, I think it is. Miltonia candida.
Can you show me the name?
Yeah, let's
Uh-huh.
see. Miltonia
Candida. Yeah, I got it.
candida.
Yes,
Is that?
that's it.
Yeah, candida.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful flower.
Oh, yeah. How many orchids you have?
Myself personally,
Mhm.
I don't know. That way I
No,
can tell my wife when she asks me, I can honestly tell her I
Yeah.
don't know. And I did that on purpose. Because then she'd say I have too many.
Yeah, I know.
Honey, I really don't know.
Uh-huh.
Besides that, I'm dividing all the time and I'm throwing ones away that die all the time. So
Mhm.
they live and they die and the numbers constantly change. What can you say? This is just,
People are asking about Maxillaria sanderiana. Do you know this one?
yes, it's beautiful.
Is it here or somewhere?
It would be in here
Really?
and
Can we find it?
But
Yeah,
while we're
let's try to
there,
find it. Uh-huh.
We're still in search of flowers.
Uh-huh.
I think the sanderianas are like a couple
Mhm.
rows down that way.
And who is this guy? Just curious. Area.
Oh yeah, Area Clausa.
Uh-huh. I see. Let's
I was looking
let's
up and
find
you were
this
looking
one
down.
because people are asking. I don't know what is this one. Maxillaria sanderiana. Okay.
Yeah, that is a beautiful plant.
Угу. Говорит красивая. Still trying to find any kind of flowers. Она из крупноцветковых, понятно, Инна. Wow.
That's a pretty one.
Yeah, but one more time, the name of this one?
This is Miltonia reginellii. I think we
Uh-huh.
already looked at this one, but in a different spot.
I forgot. Yeah. Give me a sec. I'm always trying to show the size of the flower
Yeah,
because
exactly. Give a hand.
I
and
am zooming it and
Uh-huh.
nobody understands what is the size. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
That basket needs a little help.
Шлагбаум с цветочками. the same one.
Angelita, ¿sabes si tienen Dendrobium sandrianum?
Учите испанский. Тут все говорят только по-испански.
Yo me acuerdo antes, hace unos años que estaba aquí. Hey, Mr. Bill,
Мне сказали, ты не имеешь права говорить по-русски, говори по-испански, а то мы не понимаем. Вообще, ну это прикол, конечно, был, но все равно.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes, it is. Even almost done, but
Yeah, they're
That's
still
nice.
pretty, even when they
Uh-huh.
got spots on them. You can imagine
Uh-huh.
them without them.
yeah.
Look at here's
Give me a sec. That's famous one. How do they call it?
look at that thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, so our flowers will get spotted and stuff because we water. But
Uh-huh.
it's better to water. and
What
keep
is
them
that?
alive than
What
to
is that? Look at this
have
size.
perfect
Ah,
flowers. Isn't
How
that
should
thing
I-
amazing?
yes, it is. Huge one. Huge one.
And it looks like somebody stuck a tag
Mhm.
Lycast macrophylla.
Give me a second.
Lycast macrophylla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, I'll put that back.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, I'm not going to be able to find the tag in this, but
Mhm, mhm.
luckily somebody was smart and
Give me a
stuck it
sec.
down in the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome plant. Awesome. Guess how many years should I grow up my...
God.
How many years?
It could be, I would guess 15.
At least 20, I
Would
would
be,
say.
I would guess 15.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see.
That'd probably be a pretty safe guess.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Yeah, Sandarod.
Did they find? No?
I don't know if he's still
Uh-huh.
looking.
Uh-huh.
Interesting epidendron. I mean, yeah, look at how short this. It has little short
Uh-huh.
inflorescence, but lots of them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what this is. This is an
Mhm.
interesting one. I don't remember
Короткий
ever seeing this one.
цветонос, но много цветочков. See the previous one.
It's not that pretty of a plant, but
Yeah.
it's interesting that it's
Mhm.
got such short inflorescence.
Mhm.
Normally I see them much longer,
Mm-hmm.
but lots of them, which is
Yeah.
quite interesting the way it just keeps
Mm-hmm.
throwing out inflorescence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Wanda! Wanda! Cerulean?
This is mine.
This one? Mm-hmm.
Harry Phillipsii.
Show me it. I cannot.
So Andy's got orchids named after him,
Uh-huh.
but they're all Phillipsii. So it's whatever the genus
Mm-hmm.
Phillipsii.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here I've got Leptodes
Mm-hmm.
Harry Phillipsii.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Uh-huh.
It's my plant.
Yeah, show me. Give me a sec, give me a sec.
So
Uh-huh.
tell me when you want, I'll turn it.
Mm-hmm.
So Harry Phillipsii.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of Phillipsiis,
Mhm.
but there's only one Harry
Mhm.
Phillipsii.
Mm-hmm.
So mine's even better than Andy's. Even though he's got 3 or 4 named after him, they're all Phillipsiis
Mhm.
instead of Andy Phillipsii.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this.
I see.
Someday they'll
Congrats.
probably change the name,
Yeah.
but for right now,
Uh-huh,
it's
I
Harry
see.
Phillipsii.
I see. But how it can be? Give me a sec.
It
Oh.
was we had imported a bunch of Leptodes from
Mhm.
Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and these all came in one group,
Mm-hmm.
and there were several different species in the group. And Eric Christensen, which I don't know if you remember, he was a taxonomist. He's passed away
I
since, but
see.
he used to come here to the nursery and he'd spend days finding new species.
I see.
And he said that this is a new species. We don't have collection data on it or anything
Mhm.
because we don't know what part of Brazil it came
Mhm.
from. Though we think it's with tillandsia, which is this one here.
Mm-hmm.
But he claims that he did the work and he claims that it's a valid species, so he named
Really?
it. He asked Andy what he wanted,
Mm-hmm.
what he should name it, and he says, name it after my brother, Harry.
Uh-huh.
So he did.
I see. Good. Good. Nice. Is it Wanda Cerulean, right? No?
Oh, that's Vanda Cerulean,
Uh-huh,
yes.
uh-huh.
That is just absolutely
Can you tell
gorgeous.
me, this should it be twisted or not? I just,
Typically not. Well,
Uh-huh.
the way, yes, because they can tilt them.
uh-huh.
You can see it better on this one.
Mm-hmm.
You can see they're parallel,
Yeah.
but they're tilted back.
Uh-huh.
If they get, I mean, that's normal for them to do that.
Mhm.
This is a beautiful plant. You
Mhm.
can see the tessellations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can pull this out here.
Mm-hmm. I see. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is one that I cannot grow at home
Really? Why?
because I don't have good water. This needs good water. As a matter of fact, that could be one of mine. I don't know. I've got 3 or 4 Vanda ceruleas hanging in this greenhouse because I already killed too many of them at home.
Really?
This is my water quality.
Huh.
They need good water quality. I can grow Vanda suavis without a problem. Vanda cerulea, can't do it.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. I've learned that some plants require good water.
I see. Miltonia, right?
Yes, that's the same one that we saw.
Oh, look at this one.
I
It's
know.
just full of flowers.
Yes.
I skipped it. I was not able to see.
So this is the alba form, and that's the standard color form right there.
Uh-huh.
So the same species, just alba versus the standard color form.
I see. Okay.
I think I even still have some of my orchids over here. I think they're over on that aisle.
Uh-huh,
right there.
uh-huh.
I can see them right there. I went down to Brazil in '09 and I came back with a bunch of plants and they sort of moved in over there and I haven't brought them home yet. I think it's time I bring them home.
Sure.
It's like '09, that's like 12 years. I think they've been over here too long.
Really?
As a matter of fact, maybe we should go look at them. Make sure they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't check them out.
Uh-huh.
So I got, that guy's not looking good. Those 3 that are next to the Laelia gouldiana, those are mine. And then these I brought back from Brazil. That I brought back from Brazil.
What is the name of this?
This is a rupiculus Laelia. Let's see, which one is this? Oh God, I hope there's a name on it, because if not, then I don't remember. Oh, here it is. Nope. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Laelia lucasiana.
A sec. I see.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad the name's still there, because I wouldn't have remembered. Let's see what this one is. Laelia milleri.
Is
Ooh,
it?
this is a nice one.
Unable to see.
Can you see that one? I got this at AWZ Nursery in 10. So I guess that wasn't the 9 trip, that was in 10. Let's see what this one is. This is Laelia longipes. And I got this in 11 from Florelia. So I guess, now these guys, this is one of my favorites. This is zygopetalum. This is a zygopetalum, I want to say, is it mini? Microphylla. It's one of my favorites of the zygos because it's so small, but it's so pretty.
I see. Can I see the plant as well? Because it's unusual. I cannot recognize.
So this is not. This is
I
a
see.
Cynorchus fastigiata. That's like the oxalis of orchids. You know what oxalis is?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
This is like it grows in everything. It's in every house. The hot house, the cold house. This house. It's in everywhere. It's on the hot house. It's growing on the ground.
Yeah, I saw.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
know.
orchid. It's
Yeah.
a weed.
And
then I
it's
got
from
these guys
France,
here.
right?
Pardon?
It's from France, right?
No.
No?
I don't know where it is because I've seen it. It's like
I-
all over the world. And I don't know where
see,
it is originally
I
from.
see. I know another lady went to France and the southern part, right? And I saw it here in a field.
So this is a promenade, and I can't remember what the name of it is. It needs some help. I need to give it some attention and do something.
There is something, right?
I know I can't get it out.
Okay, that's
I
okay.
tried.
That's okay.
I tried.
I gave up.
Maybe I think these are different, but let's see. No, that didn't help. That's the problem. Is when you haven't looked at them for a while, you tend to forget. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they eat the tag. They bury it.
Yeah. Everyone needs to be fed, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, come on. Got to be a name in there. Someplace.
Wow, I
Okay,
missed.
here we go. This one is Promenea ovatal. Can we clean it off?
That's okay.
Promenea ovatalabia, I think it is. I got this in '09.
I see.
Yeah, ovatalabia. Promenea. They're beautiful plants. But I better pay some attention to this. They need attention.
And what are these cattleyas? Do you know?
What's that?
What are these cattleyas? Labata, labiata?
These are, let's see. Let's see, that one there, it doesn't say. This one is crispa. So that's crispa. But I don't see any names on these others.
There's
This
different one.
looks like, and I'm trying to think, it starts with a B, I think. No. Oh, this is
Purpurata. Unbelievable. That's not purpurata.
Doringiana? Bauringiana. This is Bauringiana. Both of these are.
Really?
You can tell by the growth habit, and then when I saw the spike coming up,
Okay,
that's
I see.
Bauringiana.
Okay, I see. Okay. Look at this guy. Last
know.
one,
This
last one.
This is really, they are bizarre.
And the name of this?
This is Ceropedalum fascinator. And this is the
Fascinator.
alba
Alba
form.
form. Okay.
The alba form. And what's really cool, the lip will rock. Not right now. It's not rocking. Let me see if I can find a nut.
So we were not
But
able.
they're just bizarre. This is as weird as it gets.
Very.
But you don't see the alba form very often. You see or semi-alba. You see
Yeah.
the standard form.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. That's why I see the big nut for sale.
So
signs. I go,
Maxillaria sanderiana we was not able to find,
we
right?
couldn't
Yeah.
find it. I know it used to be in this area, and I just don't see it.
Maybe it's good question to Andy, right?
I don't know where it would be, but they're big plants. They're big plants, and you'd be able to spot them. But I don't know. Look at the size of this bulb.
Yeah, my favorite size.
Yeah, Anguloa. Look
Yeah.
at that thing. You hit somebody in the head with that and knock them right out.
Don't
That
say
thing
me
is-
that. Don't say me that.
But I mean, look how big.
Yeah.
That
it
thing is
huge.
just giant. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Oh, we don't want
Извините, девочки, не смогли найти максиллярию.
So this is an Asinita species. Unfortunately, they're beautiful when they're, when they're without the
I see.
spotting.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, the Sideria japonica.
Yeah.
This is way out of season. This should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. They can, every once in a while, one of them just wants to throw flowers out. And
But how they can grow up like On stick, I am just thinking, it requires a lot of moist, right?
Well, it's how you water. Watering technique for growing mounted orchids is different than for potted orchids. What you have to do is you have to think about duration. And duration, think of duration as how long the root zone stays wet. In a pot, the root zone stays wet a lot longer,
Yeah.
but when it's out on a stick, it dries out faster. So you have to figure out a way to keep it wet long enough for it to absorb sufficient moisture for it to live. And then it can dry out.
I see.
So it's just in the technique of watering. That's more for advanced orchid 101.
Yeah.
And we got, this is tillandsia stenophylla. It's beautiful. See, the flower is actually purple, but the bracts are brilliant red. And when you water it, it really lights up. It just, the colors pop.
I see.
It's beautiful.
I see.
I don't see much else blooming down here, but let's see.
Yeah.
No more flowers down this way.
Okay. And no maxillarias, right?
What's that?
We were looking for maxillaria, right? Not able to find it. Sanderiana.
Yeah, Sandriana.
Uh-huh.
I'm not. Yeah, that's something we have to ask Andy.
Andy, yeah, Harry.
Maybe we could go find it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say bye for everyone, okay?
What's that?
Let's say bye
Okay.
for everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much. It was fun. Thank you. Bye bye.